Hey, 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 my Leo collective. What is going on, my kings and queens of the jungle? Huh? Well, I'll tell you what's going on. I'm about to do your October 2025 reading. So join me, hey, Ascension 225, Tarot and Oracle, for your October reading. All right? We're going to figure out or find out what Spirit wants and needs you to know for the rest of October, okay, Leo? So, I need for you to find a nice cozy spot where you can relax, relate, and receive, okay? That's the goal here, is to receive whatever messages Spirit has in store for you today. Now, mind you, this is a general reading, so not everybody in the Leo collective is going to get a nugget or nuggets of wisdom today, okay? But if you do get messages that resonate with your soul, just stick them in your pocket so that you can marinate on what was said later, or if you want to take notes or whatever else, that is great. So yeah, October is going to be a very transformative month for mostly everybody in the collective. September was a very strange month. We had a lunar eclipse. We had a solar eclipse, aside from the new moons and the full moons, and the 3 planetary retrogrades. Okay, that's a lot going on above our heads, Leo, okay? A lot going on. So if you wonder what the hell going on, look up. All right, look up. All right, so we are knee deep, or we just started Libra season, and with all this Libra energy, you know, Libra is the balancer of the scales, okay? The one who finds fairness and justice in the world. That's what Libra brings to the table, right? To make sure that there is a balance, okay? So yes, this month a lot of things are going to get balanced. Things that were, you know, kind of skewed, or maybe you're feeling a little unbalanced. Well, use this Libra's energy to get yourself back into calibration, okay? So let me tell you something. I told you there's 3 retrogrades, 3 or 4 retrogrades, okay? One of the retrogrades is Neptune in Pisces. Neptune reminds me of the moon energy, but Neptune is about wearing rose-colored glasses, right? Falling for the okie doke, falling for illusions, deluding yourself even, lying to yourself, right? But with Neptune being in retrograde, things that were hazy before, or things that, you know, were hidden because you had on rose-colored glasses, well, guess what? It's time for clarity now, baby. It's time to take off those rose-colored glasses and throw them across the room, then run over to where they are and stomp on them bitches. Okay, that's what's up. Okay, so Neptune in Pisces, it's a time for deep recalibration. All right, all the illusions, delusions, lies, trickery, people wearing masks, you will see everything clearly in the month of October. All right, we also have Saturn in Pisces. There's a lot of Piscean energy going on right now, all right, until the end of the year. So we have Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is the teacher of the zodiac. You're gonna learn today in my worst Kevin Hart voice, okay? But Saturn is the teacher, whether you're learning something for your own good or whether you fall on your face, okay? So whatever you put out there is now gonna show back up. What you put out or what you've reaped is what you sow, okay? So this, and Saturn is going to be in Pisces. It stays in Pisces for 2.5 years. It's already been in there for about 6 or 7 months. So we have another year and a half with Saturn. Might be patting you on the knuckles with the ruler if you mess up, right? Because Saturn's going to make sure that you learn what you're supposed to learn, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. So it's about learning deep karmic lessons, but with deep karmic lessons comes spiritual growth, right? Death and rebirth. And also There's going to be a sense of discipline within ourselves that we find during this Saturn and Pisces. And also, it's going to be a time of a lot of self-discovery, a lot of deciding until the end of the year what's important for me, what's important to keep in my life, people, places, or things, what's not important that I need to get rid of in my life, right? And that is also people, places, and things. So without further ado, one more further ado. Today is October 6th, and it is a full moon in Aries, okay? It is Libra season. The polar opposite sign for Libra is Aries. So this full moon is not in Libra. It's a full moon in its opposite sign of Aries. I'm a Gemini. My opposite sign is Sagittarius. Leo, your opposite sign is Aquarius, okay? So we have a little bit of those traits in us, in our opposite signs, okay? So if things don't resonate with you when you watch a Leo reading, you might try watching an Aquarius reading. And I also, the last thing I want to say is that, you know, if these messages don't fit or resonate, don't force the messages. All right, leave the messages on the table for somebody else. All right, it's a collective reading, okay? Yeah, so this is a full moon, and it's a time for purging and releasing. Yeah, like I said, a lot of death and rebirths, right? Putting things to death, figuratively speaking. And once you decide to do that, you go through a spiritual awakening. So use that full moon energy to release and purge whatever needs to be released and purged, guys. If you need a private reading, you can hit me up at ascension225tarot@gmail.com. Everything is in the description box. My rates, a little bit about me, yeah, so, and how to book a reading, how to look at my thumbtack, how to look at my reviews, and all that is down in the description box. Okay, guys? Thank you. So, Leo, that was a long intro, so let's get started, okay? I know you guys are wanting to get started here. So, all right, so I was going to write down the time, but I'll remember it was 07:35 for the end of the intro. Okay, so where are we going to start? We're going to start with our oracles, and then we're going to get into the tarot deck. Now, I meditate and pray and pre-shuffle the oracles just to save some time, all right? So we're going to start with, what is the tea? Well, first of all, I want to start off with the moon oracle cards, because tonight is the full moon in Aries. So what does Mama Moon want our Leos to know? Well, it says first quarter moon in Gemini. Speak your world into being. Speak your world into being, Leo. Whatever world you're envisioning, whatever you're manifesting for your world to look like, then speak it into being in maybe Gemini season, all right? Or, yeah, or maybe Sagittarius season, because, you know, the moons are opposite signs. So, and then we've got full moon in Cancer. The ocean's tides. Allow yourself to ebb and flow with the emotional currents of the full moon, while also setting boundaries and protecting your emotional well-being. All right, protection of your emotional well-being, Leo. Alrighty. Now I know you guys are, you guys are front and center all the time and the center of attention and everything like that. But I know that you guys are also emotional beings, even though you may not want to show it. All right, so just protect your heart, protect your emotions, be emotionally intelligent when dealing, especially with people. So what's the tea for Leo? I've got something may happen in March, or may have happened in this past March, or may happen this coming March in 2026. I've got Quill. It's time to get back to the basics, Leo. get back to the basics. I think Aquarius also got this message, although I lost the Aquarius reading. I had to redo it, but anyway, that's another story. Apple, temptations will test you. Uh-oh, you might be tempted by that apple, Leo. What's up with that? I've got gavel, involvement with the law. So there may be some involvement with the law. You might be getting charged with something. Maybe you have to go before a judge about something. Okay, maybe it's because of this temptation. Then I've got thank you, Spirit. I've got hand, in need of help, assistance, and guidance. So some of you may need a hand, assistance, guidance, or maybe somebody in your energy may ask you for assistance. Wreath, sorrow over loss. There may be some form of loss, and I'm sorry if there is a loss. Maybe, I mean, a loss could be anything. A loss could be, you know, a loss of a friendship, a loss of a mate, you know, a death in the family. I mean, it could be many, many different things. A loss of a job. I mean, sorrow doesn't have to be just about death, but it just could be an ending for you. Clouds. There's some temporary problems that you may be dealing with or will be dealing with during the month of October. Maybe it's the sorrow over loss, right? Or maybe it could be this involvement with the law. It's time to get back to basics, Leo, okay? All right, so intuitive messages from the ancestors. They say, be courageous. And this reminds me of your Leo energy, right? One of the major arcana cards in the tarot deck is the Leo card of strength. That's strength, intestinal fortitude, courage, bravery, right? So Spirit's saying, remember who you are. You're a damn Leo, okay? Courage is the power to overcome any obstacle. Are you facing a tough decision, Leo? Don't shy away. Take that leap forward and discover your own strength. Past life. You may be dealing with a past life lesson that may need to be learned. Remember I said this is the time for karmic lessons. It says your past has shaped who you are today, but it doesn't define you. Perhaps you've been dwelling too much on past memories. Look at how those experiences have helped you grow, but know that you are constantly evolving and changing and maturing and growing, right? You can't stay the same. If you're the same that you were a year ago, then you ain't changing, and that ain't good, right? Gratitude. Gratitude. What is it that you feel gratitude for, Leo? It says gratitude brings more joy and abundance. Have you been overlooking the good in your life? Take a moment to appreciate what you have, Leo. This mindset will attract even more positivity. That's why it's so important, with all the negative energy in the world, love is the #1 vibration, all right? #2 is gratitude, all right? So having gratitude and speaking gratitude out into the universe to your creator, and your spirit team raises your vibration exponentially, okay? So gratitude, courage, past life. Okay, we're going to do your universal message at the end. Angels, what messages do you have for our Leos? Something will be happening in divine timing, Leo. This is the only Malkuth where we have clocks, time, where everything is governed by a tick-tock, okay? Everybody's looking at their watches. In the spirit realm, there is no such thing as time or watches or anything like that. Everything is done in divine timing. And I just saw 1414 on the timer, so you might want to look up that angel number. There may be a message in there for you. And then I've got Daniel, Archangel Daniel, divine discernment in the reverse. So Leo, are you not trusting the messages coming from spirit that are whispering to you? Leo, listen up. Are you ignoring those messages? Are you ignoring those voices? Because with divine discernment in reverse, that means that you're leaning on your own understanding. You're leaning on your own ego as far as making decisions instead of collaborating with spirit and your spirit team in order to turn this card in reverse right side up, so that you're listening to your intuition, because that's how spirit speaks to us, and that is through our intuition, right? Those little whispers that tell us to go left instead of right, and then you find out that you could have been in an accident if you went left, but you went right because you heard the voice, and you know the voice, and you trust the voice. Okay, so I feel like you don't trust the process. You don't trust being divinely guided, okay? Because you're leaning on your own understanding, but ego is edging God out. And it's hard to hear that voice of God when you're relying on your own ego. Okay, so let's get into the tarot, all right? I want to go over here. I want to talk to you about your spirit animal and the type of energy that you can exude from this spirit animal card, okay? I asked Spirit what spirit animal is the most appropriate for Leo for October, and we got the whale, and this is about communication. All right, communication. I mean, I don't know anything about whales, but I do know that I think they're pretty good at communicating to other whales, you know, with their whale song, you know, and when they're in the water and shit. I mean, I think. But this is about communication, and one of the most important things when you're dealing with other people is to have effective, good, understandable communication where you feel heard and felt, and the other people feel heard and felt as well. It says you are encouraged to communicate clearly from your heart and bridge any gaps that are keeping you from connecting deeper with your loved ones. It is important to speak your truth with emotion, vulnerability, and power. Speak your truth, whatever it is. Be true to yourself, be authentic to yourself in how you feel and what it is that you want. All right? Okay, so let's look at this major arcana over here. And this has only happened a few times with me reading tarot. I have two major arcana decks, and what's really interesting is you got the same major arcana, the moon. Okay, so the moon is Cancerian energy. Okay, Cancerian energy, that's Cancerian energy, and the moon, that's all about what we talked about earlier, and that is being tapped in and tuned in to your intuition, to that voice of spirit that guides us, that whispers to us, that helps us, that advises us, that loves us, and only wants the best for us. You got two moon cards, and we just saw the divine discernment card in reverse. So this is spirit saying, hey Leo, listen up, I need your attention, okay? You ain't paying attention to your intuition. And this is a double message for you to tap in and tune in to your intuition, to that voice, that all-knowing voice that guides you. All right? Stop ignoring the voice of spirit and your spirit team. All right? Now the moon, the moon is about, you know, having deeper insight. And the moon reminds me a little bit of Neptune. Remember me saying that earlier? It reminds me of Neptune because, you know, it is the card of having intuition, but it's also the card of people have notoriously hidden stuff, kept things secret, did things in the dark under the moonlight, if that makes any sense. Things that are not great done in the dark or by the light of the moon. Okay, so this could be deception, it could be secrets, it could be people wearing masks, it could be just not seeing things clearly because you're not paying attention to your intuition. So you got 2 moon cards, and you, my friend, represent the sun. Okay, so start listening to what Spirit is trying to tell you. There's nothing on the bottom of this deck. And what's on the bottom of this deck is what we talked about earlier, death and rebirth, Scorpio energy. All right. Like I said earlier, when we put certain things to death, figuratively speaking, whether it's people, places, or things that no longer love us, serve us, respect us, support us, whatever. If it ain't doing it, it's time to let it go, okay? So death and rebirth is making that decision, like, I'm putting these things to death, and then from that comes spiritual growth. Comes a spiritual growth, okay? So rebirth time. So what is this rebirth going to look like for you, Leo? Alright, Spirit, what's going on with our Leos for the month of October? Why aren't they trusting in you, Spirit? Why aren't they trusting in the voice that's guiding them? We've already seen the messages come out for the oracles. So what does the tarot want Leo to know? What's on the bottom? 5 of Cups. The 5s are all about change, Leo. And change ain't always easy. It can be quite uncomfortable, right? Yeah. Somebody is feeling like they missed an opportunity of some kind. Somebody feels sad, or they feel some form of loss because they broke these 3 cups, right? They broke these 3 cups. Cups represent emotion, all right? That's that watery energy, that Scorpio, Pisces, Cancerian type of energy that looks at your emotions, all right? So somebody's feeling sad. Maybe they feel sad because they missed an opportunity, they missed something, and they allow these 3 cups of emotion to break, and they're so focused on that they cannot see that there are 2 full glasses off to the side. They're just so focused on what they lost and what they don't have anymore, sort of like a lack, sort of, you know. Yeah. All right, what's in the middle? What's in the middle? 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles is working as a team. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. Working together for a common goal. Maybe somebody feels like they missed an opportunity, maybe at collaborating on something, whether it's collaborating maybe on a screenplay or a song, or building something, or a business opportunity. Maybe somebody feels like they missed an opportunity. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's shuffle a few more times. Holy Spirit, show me off the top the main energy for Leo, please, and thank you. All right, main energy for this Leo reading. 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups. All right, what is this about the past, Leo? What is this about the past? This is about a past friendship, a past lover. Somebody is reminiscing, having fond memories of enjoying times with another person back in the past. All right, what else do we have for Leo? We have the Hermit, the Tower, the Queen of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. What's on the bottom, Spirit? 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands, 8 of coins. No. Yeah. Is that pentacles? Hold on. Yeah. I think this is pentacles. Shit, I don't know what this is. No? I'm sorry, that's the strength card. That's the Leo card. Duh. And what else? The 7 of swords. Alright. It's on the bottom. Justice. Fairness and justice. Remember I talked about fairness and justice for the month of October and that Libra energy? So we saw earlier that you might be going through some sort of legal situation with this gavel here. Maybe you might find some fairness if you come up on charges or something like that. There's gonna, and you have to go before a lawyer or a judge. There may be some fairness that's worked out for you. Okay. All right. The Hermit is Virgo energy and Leo. That's all about going inward. That's, you know, for somebody who doesn't trust spirit, I really feel like you probably should go into this hermit mode, when that is coming home like on a Friday night, locking all the doors, closing the windows and the blinds, and just staying in all weekend. Just you and spirit. You thinking about things, you trying to figure out things, and you and spirit putting your heads together to come up with some, you know, judgment calls on what you're going to do, how you're going to move forward with whatever situation you may be trying to figure out. Okay, so you need to go into hermit mode and consult with spirit. Tower. There's going to be a small upset or something happening. There's going to be a tower moment or tower moments coming your way. Okay, tower moments are learning lessons, you know, and that's more Scorpio energy that we saw with the death and the rebirth. But the tower energy is when you have little small upsets or explosions that happen in your life, and you're like, what the hell is going on? That's what's going on, is this moment of maybe you thought you built something on a firm foundation, come to find out it was based on sand. Okay? Queen of Swords. Alright, so this has nothing to do with your gender. I've got the Queen of Swords here. So, Queen of Swords is no nonsense. The Queen of Swords is, I really need to think about some things, and I really need some truth and clarity about some situations. So this is, let me remove my emotions from this, and let me just look at this from a logical standpoint. And the Queen of Swords is no nonsense, period. All right, if you come to her with some bullshit, she's gonna cut your ass. I'm just saying. So that's it. Queen of Swords. You might be writing down your thoughts, what you want to do, how you want to proceed, and just getting those thoughts out on paper, so maybe you can refer back to them later. It's so funny because in both of these pictures they're writing in a book or a journal, so maybe that might be a good idea for you, maybe to journal or write down your thoughts, Leo. Okay, because we have this communication card about you being able to speak your truth with emotion, vulnerability, and power. Ace of Wands, Spirit's going to gift you with a new spark. Maybe that's what you need, is a new spark. A new goal, a new something that you're passionate about, right? Could be painting. You got a paintbrush. This is about something that you're passionate about. And on the bottom, we've got the Ten of Pentacles, the ultimate in abundance. All right, 10 is the ultimate in abundance. Maybe going into this hermit mode and thinking about what your next steps will be in order to get to this financial abundance. Okay, and abundance can be more than just finances. I mean, it could be so many things to so many people. So what's important to you? What equals abundance to you, Leo? Maybe you need to go into this hermit mode and write some things down, consult with spirit, so that you can get there, you can obtain this 10 of Pentacles. And you may have some loyal people in your corner, because in this picture I see that there's a dog there and there's a dog here, and you know, dogs are loyal. So maybe this is 7 of Wands. Like, I feel like for you, like, you're standing on business, and maybe that's why this Tower card is here, because maybe you're standing on business, and maybe you're like, whoa, nah, I'm not following, no, I'm not doing that. This is how I feel, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand on business. I'm going to stand on what's important to me. That's what this 7 of Wands might be. And then I've got the Leo energy for you to be strong, courageous. Okay? Yeah. And then I've got a 7 of Swords for you to be strategic in the way that you go about doing things. All right, for you to be very, very strategic. You need to plan things out, write things down, put things on your computer, exactly like a business plan, exactly how you want to get to what you want to get to this ultimate abundance. How are you going to get there? By standing on business, communicating exactly what it is that you want, need, and desire, right? Accepting this gift from spirit of that spark of creativity, that spark to complete something that you're passionate about. I don't know, but this is you being strategic about it. 7 of Swords. All right, what do we have on the bottom? So we have the Justice. All right, fairness. And then we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune, that Sagittarius energy ruled by Jupiter. And as you can see, this person was going down the road and they have to do a U-turn, right? Maybe you thought maybe you're going towards your fate and destiny, whatever that is, and maybe you hit a U-turn. Maybe you hit a blockage, a blockade, and you have to turn around, and then you have to figure things out from there, right? All the good reason to go into hermit mode and consult with spirit, you know what I'm saying? Because things maybe didn't work out as you planned them to. But still be this King of Cups, this Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, watery energy. The King of Cups is loving and nurturing, but most of all, they're emotionally intelligent. Like their emotions are in balance. They're not all over the place, right? They are balanced even in the face of craziness. They keep their composure. They keep calm. Yeah, because the sun is coming. The sun is coming. I don't know, it could be children for you. This is a time period of fertility. All right, a time period of fertility. So it could mean that you're going to have children. It could mean that if you play your cards right, you're going to go towards your abundance, your blessings, because the sun is the happiest card in the entire deck. It's about abundance in every possible way that you could get it, and blessings as well on top of that. Who doesn't want that? Yes, it just depends on what you invest in. What is important for you to invest in to get to where you want to be, towards this abundance and these blessings. Okay, right? Because you stood on business, you stood your ground, you were very thorough in writing down business plans and putting everything on your computer. You know what I'm saying? In case you needed to pitch this idea, whatever. But 7 of Pentacles is you choosing what to invest in. So what is it that you're choosing to grow in your garden? What are you investing in? What are you willing to water and feed and nourish and nurture? Yeah, you're determined, Leo. Nine of Wands. You are determined to get exactly what it is that you want and need and desire. And you will even be frugal. You'll even pinch pennies if you have to get to where it is that you want. All right, this is kind of being a little, a little stingy a little bit, but sometimes if you want to get to a certain, wherever you want to go, maybe you might have to be stingy or frugal with your money. All right? Yeah, to get this new opportunity for abundance. Yeah, it could be a new job, it could be a new collaboration, it could be whatever. With this Page of Cups, this Page of Pentacles, and you're going to ride off into the sunset because you were a visionary. Remember, the other half of you is an Aquarius, and Aquariuses are the visionaries of the zodiac. Tap into that Aquarius side. All right, tap into that Aquarius side. That side that thinks outside the box. That's a visionary, right? Yeah, that's the other side of you. So you can get in your chariot and you can go wherever you want to go. Nice. I like it. This is great. And so I'm not really sure what this Six of Cups is. It could be, maybe you're going into a collaboration or business maybe with somebody from the past, possibly. All right? Yeah. So if you play your cards right, this could be something that turns out to be very, very abundant for you. Okay? And after this Death card, I've got the World card, like accomplishment, success. Yeah? Whatever you've been working on, accomplishment and success. All right, but you might have to put certain things to death first. All right, people, places, or things that no longer serve you are holding you back in order to get to success and accomplishments. And the World also means the end of chapters and cycles in your life, right? We're in a 9-year, 2025, and that means that a lot of people are releasing people, places, and things that no longer serve them, love them, respect them, and all that other stuff, right? Closing out chapters and cycles like this. Yeah. Standing on what's important to you, standing on business, standing on principles, standing on those foundations that you learned growing up that are important to you. All right. Very interesting. Leo, I like this. It's like business-minded, business-related, right? Maybe you're going into business with a family member, a friend, or a significant other. Yeah? So you play your cards right and you communicate well and you work together and you have a vision, you have a plan, then I see success coming your way. All right, Leo? I really appreciate this. I'm going to be doing your career and love reading in the next week, so stay tuned. Thank you, Leo. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Mwah. All the way from the ATL, it's your girl. All right, take care. Bye-bye.